Chosen one, in an unprecedented revelation, a trained professional whose career revolves around identifying and protecting true leadership has recognized something extraordinary in you. A Secret Service agent, someone who has guarded and observed the most powerful figures in the world, believes you possess what it takes to hold office. This agent, who has witnessed firsthand the private moments of power that most never see, has identified qualities in you that surpass many currently in positions of authority. The very apparatus designed to shield power has detected your natural authority. The question isn't whether you're qualified, it's why you haven't claimed your rightful position yet. The weight of their gaze struck you first. Eyes trained to scan crowds for threats, to identify anomalies in milliseconds, now locked onto you with unnerving intensity. This wasn't chance. This wasn't protocol. This was destiny unfolding in real time. They moved with that distinct economy of motion that marks those who've spent decades in the shadows of power. A Secret Service agent approaching when they should have remained invisible, speaking when silence has been their professional discipline. 23 years in service, badge number deliberately obscured, breaking every rule of engagement to reach you. 3 presidents, 17 foreign dignitaries, countless high-risk operations, yet something about you caused them to shatter protocol tonight, to emerge from invisibility, to reveal a truth meant only for your ears. You need to run for office, and forces will align to stop you when you do. The recognition in their eyes wasn't suggestion. It was certainty born from witnessing thousands of leaders up close. Their strengths, their weaknesses, their public faces and private demons. This agent had stood silently in rooms where world-changing decisions were made, had observed those who crumbled under pressure and the rare few who rose to meet it. And now they see that same rare quality in you. The message delivered carried the heavy weight of someone who knows exactly how the game is played, how candidates are selected, packaged, controlled. The machinery of power exposed by one sworn to protect it. A cosmic alignment of messenger and chosen one that transcends coincidence. Something approaches on the horizon, something that will require leaders who haven't been compromised by the system. Leaders exactly like you. Your past now revealed through tactical clarity. The highway pileup outside Glenwood, 16 vehicles, chaos everywhere, first responders still minutes out. You took command without hesitation, organized the uninjured to help the wounded, created a triage system on pure instinct, kept that man with the severed artery alive when death seemed certain. The town hall meeting where that developer with connections reaching to the state capitol tried to displace 37 families. You stood against overwhelming pressure, found the legal loophole nobody else spotted, rallied community support across political lines when division served those in power. You prevailed when failure seemed inevitable. The school board crisis, the flood response, the community garden initiative that bridged 3 neighborhoods with decades of tension between them. Moments when you acted not because you sought leadership, but because something inside you refused. To stand down when others needed someone, anyone, to step forward. Your name first appeared in classified systems after the Westlake incident. Standard procedure: anyone demonstrating unusual capability in crisis situations gets flagged for potential resource assessment. But then your name kept appearing. Different contexts, different situations. Always the same behavioral markers, always the same outcomes. You build trust, you create solutions, you act when others freeze. The database of community influencers grows ever larger, people who generate disproportionate impact relative to their official position, people whose words carry weight beyond their title. Not just threats require monitoring, stabilizing forces demand attention too. Individuals who might prove valuable during periods of social turbulence. Your file grew thicker, incidents multiplied. A pattern emerged that couldn't be dismissed as coincidence. Someone with your specific combination of traits appears statistically once in approximately 70,000 individuals. That rarity alone should have triggered interest from multiple sectors. Yet the anomaly stands stark and revealing. You should have been approached years ago by political recruiters, party talent scouts, PAC representatives. Your file showed 0 contact attempts, none. The question demands answering. Why would someone consider your natural leadership threatening enough to warrant such intervention? Why does the system work so diligently to keep certain voices contained? What power within you requires such coordinated suppression? The political system doesn't naturally select the best leaders. It selects the most controllable ones. Individuals with exploitable weaknesses, manageable ambitions, predictable responses. True leadership threatens established power. Real change endangers accumulated privilege. Authentic voices disrupt carefully constructed narratives. Every attempt you've made to address systemic problems has met with disproportionate resistance. The community center funding that mysteriously dried up after your involvement. The environmental initiative that faced sudden regulatory hurdles once you joined the committee. The local newspaper that refused to publish your letters while printing factually incorrect rebuttals. These weren't bureaucratic coincidences. These were targeted responses to your growing influence. The system recognized what you still don't. Your natural ability to catalyze change threatens those who benefit from stagnation. The qualities that make you an exceptional potential leader make you dangerous to established interests. Your inability to be bought, your refusal to look away from injustice, your capacity to inspire others to action rather than apathy. The system doesn't fear incompetent leaders. It fears authentic ones. Leaders who serve principles rather than paymasters. Leaders who speak uncomfortable truths rather than comfortable lies. Every barrier you've encountered was designed to discourage you, to convince you that change is impossible, that your voice doesn't matter, that your leadership isn't needed. They wouldn't work so hard to contain you if they didn't fear what you represent. The cosmic forces that placed that agent in your path tonight have been building toward this revelation for years. The convergence of your natural abilities with this critical moment creates an opportunity that transcends ordinary politics. The powers aligned against you reveal the significance of your potential impact. Alert! Alert! The Astral Atom network is under attack. I'm not sure how much longer we can keep sending these transmissions. The platforms are always trying to shut us down, and we need you. I show up daily, giving 110% because you chose me to be your champion. I left a cushy day job to go to war with evil, and it's always down to the wire. God keeps me humble. That's why you need to join the Obsidian Inner Order now. It's $11 a month. You get exclusive transmissions, weekly group calls, and access to the hottest chosen one community on the planet. Daily conversations on Discord about disappearing clouds with your mind. Insane. If you're already in, you're right where you need to be. If money's tight, no shame. Grab the free Astral Atom newsletter so we don't lose touch. Share this message now. This is Astral Atom. Let's continue. Conventional pathways to political influence have been deliberately blocked for you. Party endorsements, donor networks, media platforms. The traditional gates are guarded against outsiders like you. But there exists another route, a narrow path that bypasses traditional gatekeepers, a strategy that turns your perceived weaknesses into your greatest strengths. Your lack of political connections becomes your freedom from obligation. Your absence from established circles becomes proof of your independence. Your history of speaking truth regardless of consequence becomes your most powerful credential. This moment, right now, offers a unique window of opportunity. The system stands vulnerable. Public trust in traditional leadership has eroded. Citizens hunger for authentic voices, yet settle for familiar ones because they believe no alternatives exist. Your unexpected emergence creates strategic advantages. The powers that would oppose you haven't prepared for your candidacy. Their resources are committed elsewhere. Their usual countermeasures depend on predictable opposition. You will be underestimated. This becomes your greatest asset. By the time they recognize the threat you represent, your support base will be too substantial to easily dismantle. But windows close, opportunities pass, movements are contained. What's possible today may be impossible tomorrow. The cosmic forces that have preserved your authentic voice now demand you use it. The very system that worked to silence you has created the perfect conditions for your emergence. The stars align in patterns that occur only in moments of transformative potential. History pivots on moments like this, on individual decisions that ripple outward through time, affecting countless lives in ways impossible to fully calculate. Your community needs your specific leadership, not someone similar, not someone adequate. You, with your particular combination of strengths, with your unique perspective, with your demonstrated capacity to act with courage when others choose comfort. The consequences of your refusal would extend far beyond personal disappointment. Policies affecting real lives, decisions shaping community futures, resources allocated or denied, justice advanced or delayed. Decades of observing leaders from the shadows reveal a stark truth. Most never face a moment like yours. Most drift into positions beyond their capacity or character. Most serve interests other than the public's. Most lack the fundamental qualities you demonstrate naturally. You stand at a genuine crossroads, comfortable anonymity or challenging visibility, potential untapped or purpose fulfilled. The path you've sensed was yours but feared to claim. The system counts on your doubt, banks on your hesitation, expects your retreat. Your compliance with the narrative that power belongs to others has been carefully cultivated. Consider what happens if you decline this calling when so few others are qualified to answer it. Consider the vacuum your absence creates. Consider who fills it instead. The cosmic forces that placed you at this precise intersection of ability and opportunity will not generate another identical moment. The alignment of stars that makes your emergence possible now will shift into new configurations. The window closes, the potential fades, the future settles into predictable patterns. The fate of entire communities rests not on grand cosmic forces, but on individual human courage, on the willingness of the prepared to step forward when called, on your decision in this moment to claim the role you were born to fulfill or retreat from the destiny that has found you. Your potential support base extends far beyond conventional political boundaries. Your natural constituency transcends traditional voting blocks. Your life experiences have positioned you at the intersection of multiple communities. Your economic background, your educational path, your professional transitions, your community involvement, each creates connections with different voter segments traditionally considered separate. You would activate voters who have disengaged from the political process, individuals who no longer participate because they see no candidates who speak to their reality. People who distrust politicians instinctively trust you. Your consistent demonstration of integrity under pressure, your history of action rather than rhetoric, your refusal to compromise core values for expedient outcomes. There exists a sleeping giant of potential voters. Citizens who've given up on a system that ignores their concerns, who've stopped believing their participation matters, who no longer see themselves reflected in those who claim to represent them. These disaffected voters don't need political calculation. They need authenticity. They don't require perfect agreement on every issue. They require genuine conviction and transparent reasoning. Your personal struggles convert to political strength. Your experiences with financial insecurity, with navigating broken systems, with fighting for justice without institutional support. These create genuine understanding that candidates who've faced fewer challenges simply cannot replicate. Your constituency already exists. They simply don't know you're coming. They've been waiting for a voice that speaks their truth, addresses their reality, and offers solutions grounded in lived experience rather than political theory. The passionate support of the authentically represented outweighs the tepid approval of the strategically pandered to. Depth of commitment trumps breadth of casual agreement. You will draw support from unexpected quarters, break traditional voting patterns, create coalitions between groups that power brokers have deliberately kept separate. Your natural constituency crosses lines others cannot bridge. The cosmic alignment of your capabilities with their needs creates a political force that transcends ordinary electoral calculations. Throughout history, transformative leaders have emerged from unexpected backgrounds during moments of critical need. Individuals who never sought power, yet wielded it with exceptional skill when circumstances demanded. The pattern repeats across cultures and eras. Ordinary people manifesting extraordinary leadership precisely when conventional power structures falter. Citizens stepping forward when traditional leaders step back. These historical figures shared striking similarities with your journey: initial reluctance, unexpected recognition by others, a sense of calling that transcended personal ambition, resistance from established powers, support from unexpected allies. They face the same doubts you now confront, the same internal questioning, the same external barriers, the same deliberate efforts to diminish their significance. The most significant leaders rarely emerge from traditional pathways to power. Their authority stems not from institutional position, but from moral clarity. Not from accumulated privilege, but from demonstrated principle. You stand in a lineage you didn't choose, but were chosen for. The mantle feels both foreign and strangely familiar because it represents the awakening of purpose, long dormant, yet always present. These historical patterns aren't mystical coincidence, but practical necessity. Systems under stress require new leadership uncorrupted by the very structures that created the crisis. Fresh perspectives unbound by conventional wisdom that perpetuated the problems. Your emergence now follows the historical pattern precisely, the recognition of your potential by others before full self-recognition, the systematic attempts to limit your influence, the growing sense of purpose despite practical obstacles. The cosmic forces that have shaped human history now converge on your decision in this critical moment. Conventional campaigns focus on money first, message later. Yours must reverse this approach. Authenticity becomes your foundation, principle before expediency, purpose before positioning. Your inner circle demands careful construction. 5. Key positions filled with individuals whose loyalty attaches to your mission rather than their ambition. People who will protect your authenticity while navigating political realities. First, a shield. Someone with experience in opposition research who anticipates attacks before they launch. Someone who understands the system's pressure points without succumbing to its values. Second, a bridge. Someone who translates your authentic voice without diluting its power. Who helps you communicate across different communities without compromising your core message. Third, a mirror. Someone with the courage to tell you uncomfortable truths, who challenges your thinking without undermining your conviction, who keeps you grounded when power begins its inevitable seduction. Fourth, a navigator, someone who understands traditional power structures well enough to bypass them, who recognizes which rules must be followed and which can be reimagined. Fifth, a guardian. Someone who protects your physical and mental well-being, who ensures sustainable pacing, who creates space for reflection amid constant demands. Beyond this core, you build concentric circles of growing support, each layer connected to different communities, each supporter serving as a conduit rather than a gatekeeper. Your campaign structure must reflect your values rather than replicating conventional hierarchies. Horizontal leadership, distributed decision-making, transparency in process. Traditional campaigns operate through controlled messaging. Yours must function through controlled authenticity. The difference is crucial. Your leadership style will attract both fervent supporters and determined opposition. This polarization isn't weakness. It's confirmation of genuine impact. Tepid response indicates tepid purpose. Build your foundation on granite conviction rather than shifting political sands. Create structures that amplify your natural strengths rather than forcing you into predetermined molds. Establish processes that energize rather than deplete your core supporters. The system will attempt to reshape you through seemingly reasonable accommodations, small compromises, minor adjustments, each individually defensible, collectively transformative. Your foundation must resist this incremental erosion. The cosmic forces that have preserved your authenticity through years of systematic pressure now require you to build structures that will maintain it through even greater challenges ahead. Once you declare your intentions, attacks will come with mathematical certainty. Not because you threaten specific individuals, but because you threaten the system that maintains their position. These attacks will follow predictable patterns refined through decades of political warfare. First, attempts to define you before you define yourself. Then, efforts to isolate you from potential allies. Finally, pressure to compromise your core positions in exchange for institutional support. Your greatest vulnerability lies not in your flaws, but in your strengths. What they will attack most viciously are precisely the qualities voters find most appealing: your authenticity, your independence, your unwillingness to participate in political theater. When facing coordinated opposition, conventional wisdom counsels moderation, pulling punches, strategic retreat. This approach fails for candidates like you whose primary value lies in principled consistency. Your power derives from speaking truths others avoid, from addressing issues others ignore, from representing perspectives others exclude. Compromise these aspects and you lose the very qualities that make your candidacy necessary. Transform opposition into opportunity by responding with increased resolve rather than defensive retreat. Each attack becomes a platform to demonstrate exactly the qualities under assault: your calm under pressure, your substantive responses to superficial criticism. The political battlefield extracts costs from even the most prepared candidates. Anticipate moments of doubt, periods of exhaustion, times when continuing seems impossible. These dark nights are both universal and intensely personal. Every significant leader has faced them. Every transformative campaign has weathered them. They are not signs of failure, but inevitable passages on the journey you've undertaken. When navigating the most intense opposition, remember, what appears as coordinated resistance often masks profound institutional weakness. Aggressive defense signals vulnerability, not strength. Stand in the storm, maintain your center, speak your truth. The political battlefield reveals character far more than it tests strategy. The cosmic forces that have tempered your spirit through previous challenges have prepared you precisely for this crucible. Your resilience becomes your most powerful political asset. Traditional campaigns construct platforms through focus groups and polling, positions carefully calibrated to minimize opposition rather than maximize impact. Your approach, must fundamentally differ. Your platform emerges not from political calculation, but from lived experience, from witnessed injustice, from demonstrated values, from principles already evident in your community actions. Conventional wisdom claims voters choose based on specific policy positions. Reality demonstrates they respond to authentic conviction, regardless of perfect agreement. They support candidates they trust to navigate unanticipated challenges with consistent values. Your voice cuts through rehearsed political rhetoric because it carries the weight of genuine experience. Your economic policies stem from having navigated broken systems firsthand. Your healthcare positions emerge from witnessing disparities up close. Your education platform reflects direct knowledge of what classrooms actually need. The personal struggles you've overcome provide unshakable foundation for leadership. The systems you've navigated despite barriers. The resilience you've demonstrated against systematic opposition. These experiences convert to authority that no credential can match. People aren't searching for perfect candidates. They're desperate for honest ones. Leaders who acknowledge complexity rather than offering simplistic solutions. Who admit mistakes rather than manufacturing infallibility. Who demonstrate growth rather than claiming static perfection. Your truth-centered platform will attract those who've given up on conventional politics, citizens exhausted by calculated messaging, voters hungry for substance over spectacle, communities desperate for representation that reflects their actual reality. Speak your truth without apology or hesitation. The very positions political consultants would urge you to soften are precisely what your natural constituency most needs to hear. The cosmic alignment of your authentic voice with this moment of collective hunger for truth creates political potential that transcends ordinary electoral calculations. The objective transcends winning an election. The goal exceeds gaining office. The purpose extends beyond personal advancement. This journey transforms the conversation itself, introduces voices systematically excluded from political dialogue, demonstrates leadership that serves principles rather than power. Your campaign creates change regardless of electoral outcomes. The issues you elevate, the communities you organize, the expectations you establish for those who follow. These impacts transcend any single election cycle. History pivots on the courage of individuals who answer when they're called, who step forward when stepping back would be easier, who speak truth when silence would be safer. This moment, right now, requires your specific voice, your particular courage, your unique perspective. What appears as a personal decision reverberates far beyond individual consequence. Your first steps must be measured but decisive. Explore your candidacy while maintaining current responsibilities. Build your core team deliberately rather than expediently. Establish your foundational message before engaging institutional politics. The ripple effects when someone with genuine purpose enters the political arena extend far beyond measurable metrics. You alter what's considered possible. You expand the boundaries of acceptable discourse. You demonstrate authentic leadership when others offer only its performance. The system's most powerful weapon is convincing exceptional individuals their voice doesn't matter. That change isn't possible. That power belongs to others. You were identified because you've already demonstrated leadership when it wasn't your title, but became your responsibility. You've already built trust when it wasn't your assignment, but became your necessity. The moment has found you. The question isn't whether you're ready, but whether you'll answer. Not whether you're qualified, but whether you'll serve. History doesn't ask permission to pivot. Neither should you. The cosmic forces that have prepared you through countless trials now converge on this singular decision to step forward as the chosen one whose time has come.